Hello guys, it's EzraTime again here, and welcome back to this video, I guess. Um, but today I want to talk about something different. Obviously, I want to do some like a TV series review, obviously for Chucky, which is again recently released on October 2nd, I think, or something like that. I kind of forget when exactly it was released, but it's on October, and this is a continuation from Cult of Chucky. If you guys don't familiar with that, well, there is after the horrible seed of Chucky, there is obviously two more Chucky movie, which I think is pretty good. It kind of get back to the horror roots for it, like Curse of Chucky and then Cult of Chucky, and I think both of them are pretty solid in my opinion. And of course, I'm not sure those movies not for everybody, but I encourage you guys to just watch those two movies because like this series really connects everything eventually, because like today, episode 4 was released, I think, which again is amazing. We're gonna talk about on each of the episodes, on the review, and then obviously I'm gonna tell you guys the summary for the TV series, and obviously there will be a timestamp on the video if you guys can want to watch the section, then well, feel free. There's a timestamp. Um, but yeah, so let's just start with the summary for the show. So there is this new characters, you could say that, named Jake Wheeler, played by Zachary Arthur, which is again great performance by him. And he's actually a 14-year-old boy who purchased Chucky at a yard sale, and and obviously he also, well, he's the main protagonist, and we get also other characters as well, like Devon Evans, which is Jake's crush. Which is, if you guys don't know, Jake Wheeler is a gay person, and Devon is actually Jake's crush, and it's played by Björgvin Andersen. I hope I don't mispronounce that. And obviously you got other characters like Lexi Cross, which is not the best, which is annoying to be fair, but it recently she kind of like redeemed himself. So I think this show is gonna make us like her even more. And she was played by Olivia Allen Lind, I think. Yes. And yeah, and obviously you got Brad Dourif back as voicing the killer door Chucky. Obviously Brad Dourif still got it, still amazing at the role, and it's just like, yeah, man, he's great. Um so yeah, that's, and basically the story just like center around these characters, obviously, and then Chucky, like the mysteries that we still have no idea why Chucky came to this. I mean, this town Hackensack, I think that's the name, is actually Chucky's hometown. You could say that that's where he's from, and he decided to show up again in this time, and we don't know exactly what Chucky's plan is, and I think that's what makes it so exciting, that we're still waiting for, like, okay, what is Chucky's end game here? Like, it's still a mystery, and obviously, you got all the drama between Jake and then Lexi and then Devon, obviously, and so far it's actually really really fun to just watching those characters talking or like having a conflict between each other. And it's nice to see that not everybody is on the like, it's a one note character, but all of them is actually having this complex moment in them, like, and it's just like interesting, and yeah, Chucky is here for some reason we don't even know yet, but we do know that there is gonna be some classic character like, Andy Barclay, right? Played by, once again, Alex Vincent, and Alex Vincent does reprise that role in Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky, even though he doesn't have a lot of screen time, and he's gonna come back into the show sometimes later, so that's gonna be exciting. And then Kyle, his foster sister, is gonna be back, played by the same actress, and obviously Jennifer Tilly is back as Tiffany, and well, Jennifer Tilly. And then you got Fiona Dourif, play Nika, I think Charles Lee Ray nephew or something like that, right? And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But so far, none of them have appeared on the recent episodes. But I'm pretty sure in episode 5, that's where we're gonna see them. And yeah, so now we're gonna get to the episode review. So episode 1, let's just start with episode 1. Obviously on episode 1 is a pilot episode. You get a lot of setup, right? And I'll say the setting up is actually great. You get introduced to Jake Wheeler, you get introduced to his dad, and then his twin brother, you could say that, and Junior, which is Jake's cousin. And yeah, episode 1 just like a lot of setting up, and then a lot of like getting to know or familiar with Hackensack, the town, right? And what is Hackensack, and then the history of Hackensack, obviously. And then you got Chucky, obviously, first appear. And I would say this though, even though the first episode was a setting, they don't really spend too much time like setting stuff up, and then it just become boring, because sometimes when you actually do like a setup episode, sometimes it could get bored. But on episode one, it's actually solid. Chucky doesn't stay long until he start talking and murdering people, obviously. um and I kind of just say, guys, it's so good to hear Brad Dourif again as Chucky. Like, he's still got it, he's still amazing as Chucky. And it's just, yeah, it's again great first episode, great kill, obviously. And some people might be a bit too ridiculous, the kill part, but to me it was fine, to be fair. And again, it's a great setup, and I'm glad that Chucky's not like spending time as a doll and just a doll, because I thought that we're not gonna have Chucky talking until like episode 2, maybe 3, because like I think they're gonna do some similar stuff like Curse of Chucky, which is like Chucky didn't talk at all until 45 minutes into the movie. So I kind of expecting the same thing. Not really. Like the first episode, we already see Chucky doing some stuff and then talking to Jake, obviously. So again, episode 1, great setup. And then episode 2, um, obviously continuing the Jake and Junior like drama, you could say that. And then obviously there is some Halloween party, which is exciting. And we got this funny scene in episode 2 where Chucky go outside to trick or treating and then wearing a Hello Kitty mask, and people just mistaking him as a child, obviously. And and obviously we get to see, I think, Charles Lee Ray like origin story. That's what I forgot to mention in the summary section. There is a backstory for Charles Lee Ray. And yeah, and the way the flashback was shot is actually amazing. It's kind of like a fun footage style, or like have like a 60s style, you could say that, obviously. But, I mean, it took place in the 60s, the origin story, and it's just like amazing. And I think episode 2 is the first time you see that. Maybe I kind of forget, it's been a while. Sorry, guys. But yeah, you basically see some backstory for Charles Relay, and it's just amazing. And we're gonna get that more on episode 3 and 4, And so episode 2, there is some funny moments, obviously, where Chucky is trying to kill this girl named Lexi, because Lexi is basically bullying Jake, and Chucky and Jake, they're basically friends. And Chucky is trying to turn Jake into a killer, and Lexi do something horrible in episode 2, and then basically Chucky is trying to kill her, but Jake's basically stop him, and I think it's just a great that episode 2 is just a great drama, you could say that. Really solid episode as usual. And yeah, it's good. And moving on to episode 3, is where I think this is where Chucky and Jake or like Chucky is trying to make Jake into a killer, and this is where Jake is like, okay, I really hate Lexi because she keeps bullying me, so I'm gonna kill her. Like she does something so horrible in episode 2, and Chucky basically convinced him that, well, if you don't like her, just kill him. Just kill her, and everybody can become a killer if you give him a little push. I think that, I mean, that's not exactly the line, but that's the context. And there is some Easter egg as well from the previous Chucky movie, and I think Glenn or Glenda, I think, which is the son of Chucky, basically mentioned by Chucky here. Basically, he mentioned that, oh, I have a queer kid. Like, he literally said that, basically acknowledging their kids. So yeah, all the Chucky movie is still canon, by the way, and I think that's what I love about Chucky franchise in general. That all of the continuity is still there, and it's still trying to make sense of it. And now we just doing experience it in a really great way, because like Seed of Chucky and Bride of Chucky is not that great. It's a parody instead of horror, so I'm glad that this one acknowledge that storyline, but also make it a horror parts of it, and it's just fun in general, with all these characters. And that's what episode 3 is. And again, in the end, there is a cool kill, or it wasn't a cool kill, but like there is a cool moments in the end. There is like a cool shot of Chucky in the end of episode 3. There is like a fire happening, and you basically see his face light up, obviously, and it's like, it's just amazing as he laughed like maniacally. And on episode 3, we obviously see the Charles Lee Ray backstory continue, and then this is where we finally see, or we finally reveal, that Charles Lee Ray was actually born as a killer, like born as a psychopath. It's not like, oh, her parents was murdered by a killer, so that's why Charles Lee Ray become a murderer. Like, I thought this was gonna happen on the episode 3, origin story or flashback, but that wasn't the case. Like, there's a scene in the end where I was like, oh shit, like, oh, that is not the case. Like, he was born as a killer. That was his story, and it's just like, you know what? that's way better. That's actually work way better, and I'm really glad they actually done it that way, And yeah, episode 3 ending up in a really great way, like a cliffhanger, and just make me wait for episode 4. So episode 4, obviously, finally, released on today. I just watched it recently, obviously, and you know, things are getting really, really intense on this episode. And I think this episode 4, is actually a calm before the storm. Because this is where Lexi obviously figuring out that, oh, Chucky is alive and he's trying to kill me. Actually, she figured it out on the end of episode 3, but episode 4 is where she really trying to talk to Jake about it, because I mean, Chucky is Jake's doll basically, and that's why Lexi and Jake basically work together as a team for the first time and try to take out Chucky. And there is this moment in the house where they going back to the burning Lexi's house, and then Lexi basically falling off the second floor, and then Chucky is like, "Come on, Jake, let go," like, well, one less Karen in this world, it will be better. And it's just like, that's where we get the revelation that Jake is not a killer, and he basically said that, "I'm not a killer, Chucky," and then he's like, "Okay, fine, let me kill her for you," or something like that, right? And basically some detective come to the house and then take Chucky to the hospital, obviously, because again there's a fire in episode 3, and then all of them go to the hospital, because, well, injuries and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's where things really getting spiced up, because Devon for the first time learned about Chucky, because, like, the backstory for Charles Lee Ray, the event for Child's Play, the original Child's Play, and then there is some mention for Tiffany and then Nika Pierce, obviously. And it's just like, yeah, like, we're gonna see this character in episode 5, and I just can't wait for it. And the ending of episode 4 is actually really, really amazing. Like, it does make me laugh, or like, sorry, it does make me clap so much, because in the end Chucky was like this to the screen. I was like, oh, oh, damn. Like, you just kill a person in that room, and then you just sit there and then just, like, give a fuck you finger to the kids. And basically the kids just like, oh shit. And then that's what Devon for the first time discovered that Chucky is alive and Lexi and Jake is not lying. So on episode 5, we're gonna get all three of them working together to defeat Chucky, and we're gonna see some old characters from the Chucky movie coming back to this series. Like, we're gonna see Jennifer Tilly / Tiffany. We're gonna see Nika Pierce possessed by Chucky. If you guys haven't watched that in Cult of Chucky, Nika Pierce was possessed by Charles Lee Ray. And I think maybe Andy Barclay and then Kyle, his foster sister, is going to appear in this episode 5, maybe. Like, I don't know. It's just a speculation at this point, but it just makes me excited. Like, all this episode is actually really, really solid, and yeah, having a great time watching it. And if you guys are a Chucky fan, then obviously watch this. And if you guys like kind of get turned off by Bride of Chucky or Seed of Chucky, then I suggest you guys give it a chance. Go watch Curse of Chucky and then Cult of Chucky, because that movie to me is solid. Again, it's going back to the horror roots, and yes, Cult of Chucky got like complicated in the plot, but at the same time it's pretty cool. And yeah, Chucky basically kind of get back to the basic kind of plot, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure as the episode go forward, we're gonna get back to the complex plot, obviously. And but it's not gonna be handled poorly. It's gonna be handled greatly, because so far, Don Mancini, the creators, and then the rest of the writers and directors that he hired is doing a really solid job on these first 4 episodes, and I just can't wait for episode 5 finally to arrive. And yeah, just make me excited, man, because this is the calm before the storm, and I cannot wait to see what Chucky's endgame was, and then what's gonna happen to all these characters, and then can't wait to see, finally a battle again between, Andy Barclay and Chucky, because that's gonna happen in this series, obviously. And I heard there's like 8 episodes, this TV series, or maybe 10. Like, I have no idea. Maybe you guys can correct me on that one. But yeah, so far, I mean, the rating for me is 9 out of 10, because again, it's great. But I still have to wait and see the full series before I can actually, give like a full score, because like, it's only first of 4 episodes, and there is still more to come, and I think it's gonna be amazing, and I just can't wait. And yeah, I think that's basically my review for the episodes, guys. I guess you guys can let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this TV series right here? From episode 1 to episode 4. Are you guys hooked? From this TV series from beginning to the recent one, or you guys think that it's kind of boring or something like that, let me know your opinions about it in the comment section below. And are you guys excited that Chucky is finally back after so long, obviously, after 4 years, right, after Call of Chucky, and we finally get back to the original kind of style. I mean, Curse of Chucky and Call of Chucky is gonna get back to the horror roots, but this one is like they trying to get the child's play 2 feeling, but I don't know. They kind of nailed it, but also not really, And I'm not saying that as a criticism, because it's just like it's still great in my opinion. And again, let me know your opinions about this show in the comment section below. And yeah, I guess I think I'm gonna do like a review for each episode on each week because I'm enjoying this series so much. Like episode 5 is gonna be released like next week, obviously. So expect a series review or like episode 5 review next week, guys. Stay tuned for that. And yeah, if you guys enjoy my review, then leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, share my videos out there, obviously, and stay tuned for the next video, wherever it's gonna be. And yeah, hopefully you guys can actually enjoy this Chucky TV series, obviously, because I sure as hell enjoy it. I'm so happy watching this show. And then yeah, I think that's gonna be for today's episode. And again, sorry, this video, this review, and hopefully you guys can enjoy this video. And I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye.